Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Let's go through the risk disclaimer first. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. The goal of this webinar. Okay, so for those of you who are new here to Bookmap, well, welcome. What we're going to do is go through the basics in Bookmap. Go through well, what is Bookmap? Define it. How you connect Bookmap. How to subscribe to it. And then the basics in the user interface. Understanding the elements that you're looking at and the uniqueness that we are uncovering in the order flow, and then some of the basics in the order flow. Okay, so that's for everybody, and that's kind of the basic education. Now, when you subscribe to Bookmap, though, you've moved beyond that, and you're looking for very specific things in the order flow, and we offer education for that. Okay, there's the Bookmap educational course. It's a 4-part educational course that starts with basics and then extends into more advanced concepts. Okay, now you can access that educational course at any time. Then you have the advanced order flow analysis webinars, and they follow this webinar every day at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And what we do in those webinars is we go through the same content as the educational course, but we go through it in the live market. And then based on our analysis in the live market, we start to anticipate future price movement. Okay, so it's a kind of a 1-2 punch here. Learn about order flow, and then secondly, see it in the live market, so you can start to apply it and understand what it looks like in the live market. Okay, all right, so let's jump over to the Bookmap website and go through it here. Okay, scroll down, there's an intro video here, some more information about Bookmap in general. Okay, Bookmap for equities. Okay, I'm going to cover that in just a minute here. We're going to come down to connectivity and we're going to stop here. Okay, and let's just define what Bookmap is. Okay, Bookmap is a software trading platform. Okay, we're like other platforms that are out there, and we are not a data provider. Okay, nor are we a broker. Okay, so you will need a broker or data provider to connect Bookmap to U.S. equities or futures. Okay, now we also connect to digital currencies like cryptocurrencies through the GDAX exchange, and actually that data is free, so no need there for any connectivity for GDAX. Okay, you just will need Bookmap 7 beta version. That's all. All right, so those are the 3 different kinds of markets that we connect to. Right, the currencies, futures, and the U.S. equities. Now, you can see there's a couple other platforms listed up here like Ninja, TTX Trader Pro, and Interactive Brokers Traders Workstation. Okay, we're a platform just like they are, but you can also connect via their API, and so you have that option and that flexibility. Now, we recommend, though, connecting directly to the data provider like CQG, Rhythmic, Gain, IQ Feed, Transact, and Dev Experts. It is better that way. The data is a bit cleaner. Now let's scroll back up and we'll cover this Bookmap for U.S. equities. Okay, so you can subscribe here to DX feed for U.S. equities. It's a great data feed. It gives NASDAQ total view as well as EDGX, which is BATS. Okay, you can get either or both together. Right now, there's actually a special now for both of them together for $59 for the first month, and then $119 for that consolidated data feed after the first month. All right. Okay, so let's scroll down now, and you know what Bookmap is, how to connect, and then here's how you subscribe. Okay, to get Bookmap. Now, you can subscribe yearly for a 20% discount, or you can subscribe monthly here. Just click on monthly. And these are the different packages. There, you can see there's digital and there's global. Okay, a couple different versions for each. You can see clearly the digital version here, it's free. It gives you access to one digital currency, and that's it. That's all you get access to. It's real time. The data is free. So, the reason that we do this is so that you can look at any time, 24/7 data within Bookmap that's live, okay? And see exactly how it works. Okay. Now, if you want to trade digital currencies and you want more ability to record and replay that data, then you're going to need the Digital Plus version here. Okay. Now, it includes the ability to trade right from the Bookmap chart into a GDAX account. It allows you to record and replay your data. You get multiple instruments here, 20 different digital currencies at a time. Okay. You also get full support and access to that advanced education that I mentioned. Okay. Now, if you're interested in trading U.S. equities and futures, then you're going to go with the global version. Okay. Now, it includes everything in Digital Plus. You still get the ability to access the GDAX account. But with the global version, you can connect now to the futures and the equities. So the futures, like we were showing here, all the different ways to connect. And then for the U.S. equities, it's up here with the DX feed. Okay, so that's how you connect with the global. That's what you get. You get all of the markets there with the global. Okay? Now, the Global Plus includes our cache of add-on indicators, proprietary indicators we put together that look at order flow phenomena very specifically. Okay, one is the ability to trade right from the Bookmap chart into your live U.S. equities or futures account. We also have large lot tracker. Okay, now we're starting to get into order flow specifics, looking at larger players that are in the order book that are holding the majority of the liquidity at those levels. It gives a lot of insight to some of the bigger players. Okay, we have imbalance indicators looking at imbalances in the book as well as in the volume. That's a unique one with the looking at the book. And then iceberg detector. Okay, again, looking for larger players, detecting the larger players in the order flow. Those players that are hiding their orders. They don't want to be seen in the order book, okay? But we can see when they trade using that iceberg detector. Now, correlation tracker as well, throwing up a correlated market on the Bookmap chart, that's what you get, okay? All right, so that's how you can subscribe to Bookmap. Let's take a look at a couple of other social media resources. You can follow us here on Twitter at bookmap_pro. All sorts of stuff up here. You can see that there's a new, we've just put it out on June 1st, this new kind of step-by-step guide to Bookmap for those of you who are new here. Okay, jump over to our YouTube channel, all sorts of videos here. And just go through it here on the playlists. Some intro videos right here in the beginning, some features and components, just the different features that are available in Bookmap, and understanding the user interface, and then order flow video snippets. Here we're going through order flow phenomena that Bookmap uncovers. Okay, this is our strength here. Okay, being able to show you very objectively what's going on in that market. Okay. And these are very concise, short videos that go through the concepts of these order flow phenomena, but we go through it in detail in that advanced order flow webinars that you get with the education. All right, let's jump over to Bookmap then and start to go through the interface. Okay. And you can see we have a bunch of other indicators up here as well. You get this with the global version. There's a historical VWAP, which is an excellent indicator. We have been using it quite a bit. We have a point of control indicator here, which is this blue line. And then we have a cumulative volume delta indicator in the sub panel. And now I'm going to close those up, and we're just going to make a really simple chart here of the Bookmap basics. Okay. And we'll define what those are. All right, here we go. Now we're looking at the NASDAQ E-mini. I have a bunch of stocks loaded here as well, and futures markets, so we can look at some different markets if you guys like. especially those equities, if you're interested. All sorts of good stuff to show there. But anyway, this is the NASDAQ E-mini, and let's see here. What are we looking at right now? For those of you who are new here, so zoom out a little bit. You're looking at something that maybe you've never seen really before. Very odd looking heat map here of yellow to orange to red, blue, white. What is it? It's a really basic element here. It's one of three elements on this chart, and there are only three elements on this chart. And those three elements actually do an excellent job of very objectively giving you all of the market data here. Okay? Now, what you see in this colored heat map here is it's the liquidity. It's from your depth of market, your dome. Okay, everything to the right of this vertical white line here is the current market. So this is your current best bid and offer in the NASDAQ. Right? And what this heat map is just a graphical representation of areas of high liquidity. Okay? So you can see where buyers are, or sellers up here are lined up on the offer to sell, and then they're down here on the bid to buy. Okay. Now we're starting to understand and use these areas of high liquidity and your dome, your depth of market. You're starting to understand where those areas are and how they're behaving at those areas very quickly without having to look at the numeric values. I'll go over it in a little more detail here about the heat map. But the main point here is we take this data, okay, from your depth of market over here, these numeric values, we transform them into a heat map, okay? And then that heat map, that graphical representation of that liquidity is then transposed on the chart historically. And that's where you're going to get the insight. Because look at these areas here. Here's the low of the day here in the cash session, and look at all the liquidity down here at 7,100. Obviously, it's 7,100 the figure, so you would anticipate there to be a lot of liquidity down here. But you don't have to anticipate. You know. And you know how they're behaving. Look, when price came down toward them, they started to add into the book here. Okay, so they're interested in buying down here, and they're showing it. And the sellers never took them on. Okay, I started to reverse back up. We found some buyers lift the offer up into some of these higher areas. So what that allows you to do is now use your depth of market on much higher time frames. Okay. You can use your depth of market for the current market or recent historical market. You can zoom into Bookmap and we can take a look at that. Okay. But and that's good, right? Especially if you're a scalper on lower time frames, start to understand all of these areas. Nice stuff that we're already seeing here at 114, a kind of a flip from offer to bid. And you can see nothing but buyers here. So looking for a higher area, maybe this 125 up here. Anyway, my point is that now that's great. You can see all those details in the order flow with the heat map in the dome. But now you can use it for much higher time frames too. Okay? So we can see buyers are down here. Now they're bidding up to that 114 like we just noticed here, and our target was 125, right? We'll see if we get there. But that's just the heat map, and that's just one element on this Bookmap chart. Okay, there's two more elements, and they're both pretty simple and straightforward. One is actually just the best bid and offer. Okay, the record of the best bid and offer plotted onto the chart. Okay? And so you can see the spread, you can see everything, but it's it's not aggregated data. Okay, it's very simple and very straightforward. It's just price. That's what it was, and it's recorded over time here. And then you can see all of these volume dots. Now that's the third element on this chart. Okay, it's the volume that transacted on that historical best bid and offer. Okay, so let's zoom in here, and I'm going to take away some of these elements here. And usually put a candlestick chart on here to give you guys some reference. And I will. I just want to take off the volume dots here and the heat map so we can go from one element to the next. Historical best bid and offer. It's just price. Okay? The beauty here of this is that it is not aggregated. this is really truly what happened in price. So you can see all sorts of microstructural detail here in this little trend to the upside here. Okay, it seems to be kind of flattening out at the moment. Okay, and our 125 level is up here. And look, if without seeing that in Bookmap, you can see it here in the dome. You can see 56 contracts, 60 contracts up here, but you can't see that. Well, this was our target, right? For a lot of reasons. Uh, but nice trend up, lots of volume, and high liquidity. That is the target. Okay. Now let's just. I guess I will throw up that candlestick chart, because the candlestick chart here really doesn't give you insight here. And why doesn't it give you insight? Why can't you see this trend on the way up here? Well, because it's all aggregated within this 5-minute period. So it's really opaque, and it cuts you off from all sorts of data that can be really, really important to understand. Okay, so that's the problem with the candlestick charts and any sort of bar or rotation chart. Okay, it's all aggregated data. Now, in terms of microstructure, well, I mean, look at this trend. Okay, let's just go through it here. Okay, we see. Okay, well, actually, we have many kind of trends within trends, but look at this little structural. Well, this is a lot bigger structural element. Okay, and we broke out from it, right? Well, here's a little microstructure. We broke out again, and it traded up here. Okay, here's another one that traded up here. And then it's a little dubious here, but let's just say it goes from here to here, and we're just starting to break out of that area right now up into this 123 level. Okay, that's the kind of microstructure that you're seeing here in Bookmap that you just don't see in that candlestick chart. Okay, it's not there. You just see the big bar here. Okay, so and you can also see here the speed, how quickly this really moved up and when. So we're going to see that there's going to be a lot of volume in this area here on the buy side. Okay, that lifted that offer very, very quickly. Okay, so that's the next element that we're going to put on that chart. Okay, is the volume, and we're showing the volume very, very precisely. Okay, all right, and let's bring down the dot size just a tad. Okay, well, here's our breakout, and you can see kind of cluster of buying up here. It's been really nothing but buying all the way up here. Selling just starting to come in here, maybe a little bit of a shakeout here. I'm still looking for that 125 level, but we'll see. Yeah, here's our breakout here on strong buy volume, lifts the offer, kind of sideways action. They lift the offer again, sideways, or I'm sorry, trends up, some sideways action again. A little bit of a shakeout here. We're up to 124 and found some more buyers up here. Okay, let's see if they can just lift it a little higher and hit that high liquidity that's been waiting up here at 125. Okay, now you can see we already know where that liquidity is. We can't see it right now though, because I don't have it selected here to show that data. But that's the insight that you're going to get here with that heat map. Okay, here they are, 125. Okay, the market's attracted to this liquidity. All right, so you can see that we're just shy of it here. That's pretty typical. You know, it kind of goes back and forth when it comes back up to areas of high liquidity that have been in the book for a while. Well, there's a lot of front runners in these areas here. Okay, so it kind of goes back and forth for a bit, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now at the moment. Anyway, that's one of the strategies that we talk about in the educational course is you have this liquidity heat map in front of you. You have that advantage. If this was your target at 125, front run it. Okay, you have a much higher probability of getting filled up here. Okay, you can trade right from the Bookmap chart. I can show you that, and with bracketed orders or OCOs and trailing stops. And you know, let's say I wanted to be a seller up here. Okay, well, there's my sell order, front running it, and I can move it. I can move it down, or I can move it back up, etc. You can see that actually see how we're recording all of my trading activity as well. Okay, so let's just cancel that, and let's close this back up Just wanted to show that to you quickly. All right. Now, so those are the three elements here on this Bookmap chart. Okay, the heat map, okay? The volume that traded here on the historical best bid and offer. Okay, so heat map, volume, historical best bid and offer. Okay, and each has their strengths here. Okay, the heat map is that ability to look at current, recent historical, and much longer, higher time frame historical data here. Okay, why is this 125 area? Like if you were zoomed into the market here and scalping, like you wouldn't understand why there's high liquidity up here at 125. If you zoom out, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, well, we have the swing high up here. Okay, and what they're trying to do, it looks like, is anyone that's short, that larger players are willing to provide liquidity above the swing here. Okay. Now let's see if it looks like we're going to get maybe a retest back up into 125 here. Let's see if we maybe get that. Not sure. They're starting to see how they're lowering the offer here at 124. Now they're pulling though, and they're back in. Okay, so we'll probably go sideways here for a bit. Okay, they're on the bid down here at 116. Where? Below the swing. Okay, right here. Okay, and then there you can see that 114 has been in here for quite a while. And why are they down here? Pretty straightforward. This is where we broke from, right here. Okay, they want to scoop it up down here. This is a buy for them. Okay, for these longer term players. Now you're starting to understand where they're bidding and offering within structure. Okay, and this is key. This is key to understanding order flow and how order flow really trades. Okay, like this is a breakout here, right? And this is where they're supporting it. All right, yeah, now we're starting to find some sellers come in here. Okay, so they're starting to hit the bid. Well, let's see if we can get down to that 114 area, and let's see if the buyers support it down here. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Looks like I don't know if I'm getting data here. Oh boy.